Okay, so if you're a professor or you're working in academia and you're thinking about a move into the corporate world, I've got to be really honest with you. Your academic CV is actually hurting you, big time. It's not because you're not accomplished, you absolutely are. It's because the way you talk about your work is completely foreign to corporate hiring systems.
So take a look at this. This kind of statement, it's the gold standard inside a university. It's totally accurate, it's descriptive, but to a corporate recruiter, or worse, to an automated screening system, it might as well be in another language. It's missing the two things they're scanning for: impact and value.
But what if we said it like this instead? It's the exact same work, same person, but it's speaking a totally different language. See, this is the language of business. It talks in dollars, it talks in percentages, and it talks about strategic outcomes. This is what gets you the interview. And that's what we're going to break down today. The exact framework to translate your incredible academic career into corporate language that gets results.
All right, here's our roadmap for this transformation. We're going to start with why your CV is getting rejected. Then we'll dive into the core framework for translating your work. After that, we'll cover how to reframe your most valuable assets, the exact resume structure you need to use, and finally, a really clear 5-step plan to get you from that CV to an interview.
Look, the problem isn't your qualifications, not at all. It's a translation problem. I'm talking about highly accomplished academics, people who've managed multi-million-dollar grants and led huge departments who are getting filtered out by automated systems just because their CV doesn't speak the right language. There are really three big disconnects here. First off, format. Your 10, maybe 20-page CV just doesn't work for systems that are looking for a tight 2-page resume. Second, the language itself. The term grant writing is basically invisible to these systems, but something like revenue development, that triggers a match. And third, it's all about how you frame your achievements. Listing publications means very little, but showing you drove a quantified business impact, well, that's everything. So how do we fix this? The solution is a really simple but incredibly powerful 3-step framework, and you can apply this to every single one of your academic achievements to turn them into compelling business value.
You know, the process is actually pretty simple, and you can use it over and over again. First, you just identify what you did, the academic activity. Second, you find its universal business function. What is that in the corporate world? And third, and this is the absolute key, this is the secret sauce, you add the quantified value. We're talking numbers, percentages, dollar signs.
All right, let's put this into practice. Let's start with research. So instead of just saying you were a principal investigator, you translate that. You led strategic research initiatives. And your topic, organizational behavior, what does that become? It becomes the business function organizational development. All of a sudden, you're not just an academic, you're a strategist. And now for the impact. This is where the magic happens. That research didn't just end up in a journal, right? It had a real-world outcome. This number, this 35%, that represents a real improvement in team performance. That's the kind of quantified value a hiring manager gets in a heartbeat.
Let's do another one. Let's apply this to teaching. You weren't just a professor. No, you were a training and development leader. You developed and delivered comprehensive training programs, and you did it at scale for over 200 people every single year. This reframes your teaching expertise as a core corporate function.
And here we go again. This is a perfect example of turning something subjective, like excellent student evaluations, into a hard, solid business metric. A 95% participant satisfaction score, that's powerful data. It proves your effectiveness in a language any company on earth can understand.
Okay, one last example. Let's look at administration. Being a department chair isn't just academic oversight, it's high-level management. You manage budgets and teams. You implemented strategic initiatives that drove operational efficiency. You see the pattern here? We're just pulling out the universal business function from the academic role. And this is so important. The scale. You weren't just managing a little department. You were leading a $4.2 million business unit with a team of over 35 people. When you frame it that way, you're not an academic hoping for a career change. You're an experienced manager with a proven track record. Period. Okay, let's talk about two of your most valuable assets that are usually totally invisible on a corporate resume: publications and grants. When you frame these correctly, they aren't just academic lines on a CV. They are business superpowers.
Let's break this down. Your publication record, that's not a list of articles. That's proof of your thought leadership and influence. Your success getting grants, that's not just research funding, that is business development and proposal management.
And your PhD itself isn't just a degree, it's your credential proving advanced analytical expertise and your ability to solve incredibly complex problems. So we've got the language down. Now we need to put it in the right package. For academics making a career change, a standard resume just won't cut it. You need a very specific structure. It's called the hybrid resume, and it's designed to get you noticed. The structure is absolutely key here. It starts with a professional summary and then a core competency section. These two sections sit right at the top. They frame your entire experience in business terms before a recruiter ever even sees an academic job title like professor or department chair.
I mean, the difference is night and day, right? The before summary locks you into academia. The after immediately presents you as an operations leader who solves business problems. It focuses completely on transferable skills and expertise, which makes you a relevant candidate for all kinds of corporate roles.
And this grid of competencies? This is basically a keyword goldmine for those automated screening systems. It's a quick, scannable way to shout, hey, I have the exact skills you're looking for, like budget management, process optimization, and stakeholder communication.
All right, let's put this all together into an actionable plan. Here are the 5 steps to take you from that long-form CV to a job-winning, 2-page corporate resume. First, do an inventory and map every single academic role to its business equivalent. Second, rewrite every accomplishment using that 3-step framework we talked about with hard metrics. Third, restructure your whole document into that 2-page hybrid format. Fourth, go find target job descriptions and weave their keywords into your resume. And finally, build up your corporate credibility by highlighting any consulting, board service, or industry certifications you might have.
You know, this whole translation thing can feel pretty overwhelming, which is why specialized tools have been developed to help. For instance, platforms like Pass the Scan use AI that's specifically designed for this academic to corporate challenge. It can help you spot the academic jargon that will get you filtered out and find ways to quantify your achievements into those crucial business metrics.
Your decades of experience are immensely valuable. The only thing that's been missing is the right translation. Your expertise has already defined an entire field of study, so the only real question left is, are you ready to show a whole new industry what that expertise can do for them?